All right, Coach. EA Sports coverage of the National Football League is on the air. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Cincinnati Bengals and the Indianapolis Colts. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Now a first carry for Derrick Henry. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on first down.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
Ball on the 30. They'll come up with a 2nd and 5. On 2nd down, here's Henry. He works his way forward for a couple up past the 30.
Well, they had that one sniffed out. Excellent run blitz. Stopped that one for a short gain.
What makes a good run blitz a good run blitz?
The ability to stay on task, to follow up your assignment, go to the gap you're supposed to cover, and not be deterred by anything else.
And they'll look to avoid an early 3 and out here on 3rd and 4. From the shotgun, Ryan hit, and he lost the football.
On plays like this, when the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back. Because this is a quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
Yardage here, back at the 47. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
I like the idea to mix it up from time to time because, let's face it, you can't be predictable. But the execution was a little lacking on this one, right? They might want to go back to the drawing board with that call.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. On 2nd down, here's Jackson. On the left side, it's McDonald. And the stop here will come at the 38-yard line. They'll get 9 there as that sets them up better for 3rd down.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
And that was a good start, getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance.
It's a gain of 4 there, and it gives them a new set of downs. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. Jackson on 1st down. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. But I think a Bengal player was able to get in there. He was. And they'll keep possession of the football. Call it luck or skill, whatever the case is, they're feeling good about just keeping the football there.
Yeah, the biggest thing that they're calling it now, our ball. I mean, they don't care if it was luck or skill. Boy, the panic that jumps up in your chest when that ball's on the ground, Whether you get it or your teammate gets it, just as long as you retain possession, that's all you're looking for.
That huge loss on the sack makes this job much more difficult. It's now 2nd down and 22 yards to go. Play action. Now Jackson. Flush to his right. Now he's going to throw deep right side. And they went for a big play through the air on 2nd down. Couldn't connect. Now it's 3rd.
Well, that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, have them back on their heels.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. So it's 3rd and long, and defensively not a real surprise. They're in the dime. From the gun, Jackson. Going down the middle, and it's complete. And he's able to get it down to the 25-yard line. An incredible play there. They do get big yardage, but they're still stopped a yard or 2 short, and it's 4th down. It would be a very makeable field goal try from here, but instead they're going to go for it. Look at this, a tight end carry. And he's going to get the first down here as he's taken down at the 22. They only got a couple, but a couple's all that they needed as they convert on 4th. First down, and they'll try to run the option left. Powering his way forward. 10 yards there on a Bengal first.
Well, partner, for a few years there, we thought this read option play was going to take over the whole NFL. It seemed like everyone was using it. But it has been scaled back considerably in the last few seasons, mainly because people are worried about their quarterbacks getting hit. But when you call it at the right time and you use it properly, you see the type of gains you can get. A nice chunk of yardage there by the quarterback.
Now it's Jackson. And that one's going to be over everybody in the back of the end zone. It's incomplete. Tyler Boyd, the former Pitt Panther, was the target. And that'll bring up 2nd down. Jackson now to throw again. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off by Dante Fowler. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
Brandon, this is why golfers do their best to never count a score in their head before the ball goes in the cup. This looked like a slam dunk for points on this drive, didn't it? Instead, they throw an interception, and they're going to come away empty.
They'll start on the ground. It's Derrick Henry. And he's going to be taken down shy of the 10, right around the 9-yard line. Give him 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7. Now Ryan on 2nd down. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off at the 19. And great field position coming up in the red zone at the 17-yard line. That interception sets them up beautifully already in the red zone.
And you can hear it all the way up here. Oski, everyone turned to block, find a spot, and now they're set up inside the red zone for their offense.
Cincinnati now ready to take the field. That opening drive ended with the INT. It didn't lead to points, but still not the way they were hoping to begin the game.
But how about going and telling your defense, thank you, a huge thank you. You said it didn't lead to points, stalled off that drive. Now they've got a chance to redeem themselves and maybe reward their defense a little bit by putting some points on the board on this one. Got to love the catch. I think you got to love the gloves as well.
Yeah, these one-handed catches, that was great, and they're fun. They're becoming a little more ho-hum, aren't they?
Yeah, they really are. And I know that it sounds like we're taking credit away from the guys, and we don't mean that at all. They really work hard on this one-handed catch thing, but I think the gloves have to be helping in a big way.
It's a 3-yard pickup, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
What we're seeing from the defense here is a group of guys bearing down, trying to help out their quarterback after he threw an interception. Good stops on the first 2 downs. It brings up a key 3rd down.
From the gun, it's Jackson. And it's caught. And he's able to get it down to the 2-yard line. Alongside Charles Davis, Brandon Gaudin, and it's the Bengals with a football to begin quarter number 2. And they'll come up looking to keep this drive moving. From the 2 now, 2nd and goal.
Watch it now, Barney!
On the ground with a tight end. And he'll actually lose a little bit of yardage here. Back to the 2. That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a 3rd down.
This is why I've never been a big fan of trying to get too cute down here by the goal line. For every one time something like this works, it seems like it blows up about 10 times. And sure enough, they'll wind up losing yards here.
They've been denied touchdowns in the red zone twice already. Here comes 3rd and goal. Here's Penny. And this one will wind up with him losing yardage. Back to the 4-yard line. He lost 2, and it brings up 4th.
The short field shrinks even more with the type of bodies they brought in on that play. Those extra tight ends, they weren't able to secure their blocks, and that one ended up going backwards.
And his kick is indeed good. And the Bengals are on the board first here. It's 3-0. So still no touchdowns in the first half, but we do have some action on the scoreboard with the field goal.
So maybe now the mentality changes in this game, because anytime you can get to the red zone, and if you don't come away with 6 points, you feel like it's a disappointment. In a game like this one, being able to kick field goals means you're right there, and then you're just looking for that big break to take you over the top.
And the Colts coming out now. And, you know, certainly a lot of football left to be played. We're not into December yet, but right now where we stand, they're first place in their division, looking good, looking to be a threat come January.
And let's think about what every team has in their goals, all right? Number 1 goal is what? Make the playoffs. Number 2 goal is win your division. Number 3 goal, and the biggest goal, I think, is to be...
The Bengal pressure gets him that time. Down he goes.
Sometimes I watch games and wonder why they use play fakes on certain passing situations, because it's not going to fool anyone. I don't know if that was the case here, but the end result was the same. No one fooled. The quarterback was hit.
So following the sack, they'll try to change their fortune here on 2nd and 13. Now it's Ryan. That's complete to Taywan Taylor. And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line. Give the Colts 13 yards and a 1st down.
But it appears that they read man defense and went to the out route. And what you have to do on that one is the receiver's got to make sure he works the defender towards the middle of the field to give himself space to cut to the outside and have that ball delivered with good timing, and they got it done.
So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. A 1st down carry for Henry. And he'll work this one up to about the 38. He'll get a nice chunk there on the 1st down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
Let's talk a little football 101 here, because one of the keys to advancing the ball downfield, success on 1st down. Huge difference, as we know, between 2nd and 4 and 2nd and 8 and 9.
On second down, Ryan. Now he's flushed out left. They'll wind up with positive yardage. It's a gain of 3, but now it's third down.
Let's go.
They'll try to run for the first with Henry. Oh, and now he bowls him over. And the athleticism on the spin move allows him to pick up the first before he's brought down. At 5 yards on the play there, as the drive will continue. Throwing now, Ryan on first down. Ryan hit, and he lost the football. And the Bengals grab it. And they're going to set up shop at the 27-yard line.
With no running backs in the backfield to help pass protect, all the receivers in their patterns, these are going to be hot routes. If they sense a blitz or pressure on the quarterback, they've got to be prepared to break routes off early and get the football. In this case, never even had a chance. They popped the ball free in the backfield.
Detroit! Detroit!
Penny, the first down carry, and he'll lose yardage here, going down back at the 28. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down.
Khalil Mack's starting to get a really big-time reputation as a pass rusher, and rightly so. So explosive off the edge getting to the quarterback. But he doesn't neglect his run duties as well. How about that tackle right there? Such a package he has, able to play the run and the pass so well.
Under 4 to go now as the clock runs and they come up on second down. Now it's Jackson. And his throw's going to be incomplete. The turnover put him in great field position. They don't want to squander it with third down coming up.
No, not at all. And you know what else you do? You make your defense mad.
Yeah.
They got you the football, gave you a great opportunity. You got to cash in and get some points.
The chance of wasting this great starting field position, a real threat. This is third and long. On third down, Jackson. Being chased out left. And he comes back with one complete. And he'll take this into the end zone for a Bengal TD. In for the score. And the Bengals are able to grow their lead. And when a Hail Mary is completed for a touchdown pass like that, I think any defensive coordinator just puts their face right into their hands.
I don't think there's any doubt about it, and I don't have stats in front of me. I don't have the empirical numbers that say that in recent years the Hail Mary pass has been completed more than it has been, but it feels that way, doesn't it? And I know the defenses are spending more time on it. I think the biggest mistake they make is that they play everything from behind the receiver. I think they've got to start getting people in front as well to try and knock the ball away.
Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. This will be taken in at the 1. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get it up to the 29-yard line. And now Indianapolis set to take the field. And last time, not only the turnover, but that turned into 6 points. They got to make up for that here.
We always hear about empty possessions, but some are worse than others. You can have an empty possession, punt the ball away, get yourself set to play defense. But when you turn it over, it changes momentum. And when they take it downfield and punch it in on you, that's a bad possession all the way around.
Yeah, but you're hungry to get back out there, aren't you?
You better be, because otherwise it's going to be a long day for you.
Here's Ryan to throw. And he hits his target. It's Kenny Stills. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion.
Nothing fancy on first down, but a very consistent type of a play. Hit that slant. A lot of people call it an extension of the running game, and it can be if that pass is completed, because you hit a guy on the run like that, he often can go for big yardage.
Sets him up nicely for second down, staying ahead of schedule. Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards. A give to Henry, and he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. It's a loss of 2, now 3rd down.
There's another example of why they haven't scored any points so far. I think it's time to abandon the run game, spread things out, and go to the air. It certainly can't be any worse than what they've done so far.
And on 3rd down, a nickel formation here defensively.
Gun! Ready! Be ready!
From the gun, it's Ryan. Into a double team, and it's intercepted. He's picked off at his own 47, and this one will be returned to right around the 38-yard line. He was looking that time for Stills.
When a team's turned it over 3 times in the first half, we just look at the offense and say, guys, what are you doing? But instead, we really should be looking at the defense. They've created the takeaways. 2 interceptions, 1 caused fumble. They played awfully well swarming to the ball here in the first half.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. First down, here's the run to Montgomery. And he stopped immediately there. The All-Pro in 2 positions. Khalil Mack there to make the stop. Two minutes remain here in the first half. We'll come back to Indianapolis right after this.
Watching now, Barney!
On 2nd down, Montgomery. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. 5 yards on the pickup, and that'll make it 3rd down.
I think we can safely say that those types of players are the backbone of this offense. We know not every run's going to be a big hitter, but you know they'll take that type of result on each and every attempt.
And Bengals on 3rd down. They've hit 2 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd and 4. Jackson from the shotgun. He'll get this one to Switzer. And brought down, but the juke, the very nice juke, gives him the 1st down yardage there. They get 9 out of that one, and as a result, the drive continues. This quarterback now 6 of 10 in this first half. He's got his guys a 1st down here. Operating from the gun. Jackson letting one go deep for the... And that is caught. He's got it for a Bengal touchdown. As his guys are in for 6. And the Bengals add on to their lead. And he's a little bit on the shorter side as a receiver. Maybe sometimes for the defense, tough to find the little guys, right?
Yeah, sometimes they get lost in the traffic, but usually what it means is that rather than just winning with height or even speed, they use their quickness to find a way to get open.
Well, tall, short, wide, skinny, whatever, there it results in a touchdown. Point after, up and good. And that makes our score 17-0. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. This fielded at the 2. And he'll take this across the 25, couple extra yards up to the 27-yard line. And now Indianapolis set to take the field. And they've sort of lost their way, partner. How do they recalibrate and get this proverbial train back on track?
Well, this is where leadership really comes into play. How's the head coach handling it? The offensive coordinator? Sometimes they just make a joke. All right, guys, you had your fun? All right.
Throw it out the window.
Yeah, let's get back on track here. And sometimes that'll work just fine.
I guess it's time now to lean on that leadership. On 2nd down, here's Ryan. Flushed out, and he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. Reuben Foster coming on the blitz. He gets him for a loss of 7.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
Get up! I got you. Left!
it's Ryan. He'll rifle this one deep right side. Incomplete. He had his hands on it but couldn't pick it. But it's now 4th down.
Well, partner, they're not content to run this one out as we head towards the half, trying to hit a big chunk play right there and add to their score.
Now, this is a confident group. At the very least, they're thinking field goal.
Yeah, and I don't blame them one bit. I don't think you sit on the ball going into the half when you have a chance to put some more points on the board.
A good return there. Call it 13 yards. And control of the football, switching hands with very little time remaining until the half. The Bengal offense now gets set to head back out onto the field. And from this spot in the field with the clock where it's at, you think we're just going to see a knee and that's it?
And I think in this situation, that's the proper play. But we do know there's some risk takers out there that may want to take one more shot before the clock runs out.
And he will avoid the contact as he slides to a stop. So we have reached halftime here, and it's the visiting Bengals out in front. As we'll send you down to Orlando, and we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach, the Bengals set to receive. They have the lead and the football to begin quarter number 3. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And some room to maneuver. And he's got daylight. It's a foot race. And he takes it all the way, but there is a flag down, so hold the celebration. This one's coming back, so that will push him back.
And now we know why I have a little extra space to run, don't we? An illegal block in the back, that penalty will move them back.
Leopard! Leopard!
Now Jackson on first down. And almost intercepted. It would have been his second pick of the game. Instead, it'll be second down.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
Once again, they'll come up on the 26-yard line, 2nd and 10. Again on 2nd and 10, it's Jackson. He'll leave it for Montgomery complete. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. It's a Bengal first down, a pickup of 11. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful? You're losing, playing against a good quarterback like he is, to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme. And you can drop anyone out of your defensive front. Defensive end, defensive tackle. It doesn't matter. You just exchange someone to bring more pressure towards the quarterback and still try and cover downfield.
And incomplete on the deep ball.
The positioning here is key. As a defensive back, you're taught 99% of the time, make a play on the football. But in this case, making a play on the man was all the difference. That's what forced the incompletion.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. And unable to get downhill there as he'll take this up to about the 37. And Ndamukong Suh makes the tackle.
Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey, these pants make me look fat? And we said, nah, man, you're just a whole lot of guy.
He is at well over 300 pounds. He's a big man. Now he'll throw deep left side. And that one incomplete. Had some position but couldn't hold on, and it brings up 4th down.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender was making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything that warranted a flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket. Here's the Colts now as they get ready for their first possession on offense of the second half. These guys had to punt last time. It has not been a very fruitful game offensively thus far. They haven't even made a trip to the red zone.
And I know that everyone's going crazy on that sideline because that drives you berserk to come off the field, not really move the ball well. As you said, not even get to the red zone, let alone, not even put points on the board. They've got to just take a deep breath, relax, try and figure out what is working, and call more of that.
They begin with Henry. And he'll be taken down right around the 27. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be second down.
Tough first half for him, unable to put up the numbers he's used to producing. But with a guy like him, you and I both know.
He'll get it up to about the 28-yard line. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 3rd and 3.
Well, they certainly have been able to get him going and establish the run, so I think it's time to abandon that plan and start chucking it all over the park. And you know who's excited about that? The defensive front. They got a chance to pin their ears back and get after him now.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. On 3rd down, Henry. And he'll maybe get back to the line of scrimmage, but no more than that. Call it no gain there, and it leads to a 4th down.
That's what I'm talking about. Nice hit, boy.
Now, the offense is not leaving the field. They're going to stay out and go for it on 4th and 3. They'll indeed go for it with Ryan. And this is caught. He hits more. That one good for 17 yards on 4th. Couldn't ask for much more from your offense there. 1st down.
Every play is supposed to get a player's best effort. But on 4th down, that really increases the stakes, doesn't it? What about that catch?
Heck of an effort picking up the 1st.
And now that team has to be motivated going forward. They just saw a great effort there. They want to make sure it pays off.
And the reinforcements come in as they're going to stop him behind the line. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
But if these guys are going to chop into that deficit, they're going to have to do a much better job in the run game. Caught behind the line of scrimmage, no yardage will be found.
Looking to throw on 2nd down. Ryan, wide open receiver, complete. And they're going to have this way down in Cincinnati territory. A big play there for Indy. 43 yards. So how about this for field position after the big play? Inside the 15 now as they come up on 1st and 10. From the red zone now, here's Ryan on 1st down. And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Reuben Foster picks it, and he'll be brought down at his own 10-yard line. Thought they had something going there to break that goose egg here in the 2nd half, but to no avail.
Hope was alive until that interception. What a terrific play, taking the ball away after it looked like they were starting a drive.
And now that shutout still standing. You know that's something those defensive guys hold a lot of pride on, too.
No doubt about it. They're excited about where they are in this game.
Going up top, and it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up 2nd down.
The beauty of being able to play a zone defense when you can sit back and see the ball coming out of the quarterback's hands, guess what? Creates a lot of confusion, kind of a muddle in the middle of the field where you can go make a play on the football.
Here they come, 2nd and 10 now from the 10.
Watching that, Marty.
action with Jackson. And he finds a man on a crossing route. A really nice gain of 25 yards. This quarterback now 6 for 6 since coming back out of the locker room. It's 1st and 10. A handoff to Fournette. And unable to get downhill there as he'll take this up to about the 37. Tremaine Edmonds there to bring him down. In the first half, he was held in check on the ground, but despite that lack of production, they still have the lead.
Yeah, and they've got to feel fortunate about that. If they could actually get production from their lead horse, that would help open up this offense and widen this margin, too.
Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. The Bengals passing game finding a rhythm. They've got another first.
Never make the mistake that the slot receivers, especially the little guys like we're watching here, are just quicker than fast. A lot of them combine quickness and speed, and they catch a lot of footballs, as we just saw there.
Under a minute to go in this third quarter as they come up 1st and 10. The pitch goes to Penny, and this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage on the play back at the 46. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down. A rare misstep on that last play because the drive has been strong, but now it's 2nd and 12.
Green, 39.
Now Jackson on 2nd down. And he will find his man on the end route, complete. And here he'll be brought down a little shy of the 35 at the 36. They get 11 back on that one. It leads to 3rd down. Back now in Indianapolis. It's the Bengals in possession of the football and in possession of the lead as well as we start the 4th. Now the Bengals on 3rd down. They've hit it 50%, 3 of 6 to this point. They're up against a 3rd and 1 situation. To throw is Jackson. Looking deep downfield. And incomplete. He can't hang on. Would have been a nice catch. Instead, it brings up a 4th down. You can tell they were hoping for a flag there offensively. Several on the sideline motioning. Hey, why not a penalty? Why not a penalty? What did you see?
Yeah, I think you've got to let them play, and the officials are instructed. If there's contact coming from both sides, no flag. Let them fight it out.
And forces 4th down. And with things looking pretty good on the scoreboard, they're going to keep the offense out there and go for it here on 4th.
Watch it now, Barney, Barney.
They're going to go with a tight end here on the running play. And he works it past the 30, almost to the 25. That's a 4th down pickup of 10 yards and an opportunity certainly missed on the defensive side. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he will take it on in for a Bengals touchdown. Ty Montgomery, his 6th touchdown of the season. And the Bengals are able to grow their lead.
Well, partner, that was another explosive run, and one thing I've learned in our time in this game, yes, the offensive line has to get a lot of credit, but for big runs to occur, the receivers have to block well downfield.
And then you have to have a good guy carrying the ball too, right?
Oh, without a doubt. You need that difference maker lugging the rock.
The extra point up and good. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Now the Colts offense gets ready to head back on the field. And with 3 interceptions thrown already, we'll see. Do they rely more on the ground game here?
They may have to change things offensively to try and settle things down, not just for the guy throwing the ball, but for the rest of the offensive unit, because his confidence has to be shaken a little bit. And you just wonder, is the backup going to start to warm up a little bit over on the sideline?
And past the 40 before he's out of bounds. 16 yards right off the bat and a first down. One play has him up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10. Oh, design run for their wideout. And he's going to bull his way forward to the 48. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3.
Well, no matter how they phrase it, staying on schedule, staying ahead of the sticks, whatever you want to call it, 7 yards on first down, that fits the bill.
They go play action with Ryan. Throw taken in by Taylor, left side. A huge play that time for the Colts. 49 yards. Well, even after all those interceptions, he's not deterred, still confident to go deep at work there.
I think all the old rules about playing that position still apply. If things go wrong, you still act like you're the best player out on the field. You still carry that supreme arrogance with you and continue to fire the ball. I've seen guys have games like this, and this is where you find out if you're great or not. Can you overcome some interceptions and still lead your team to victory?
And he gets halfway home from the 4 down to the 2-yard line.
What a game this defense has played. They're pitching a shutout, so it'd be fun to watch down the stretch to see if their defensive coordinator continues to be as aggressive as he's been all game long.
From the 2 now, 2nd and goal. Ryan keeps it on the sneak, and he takes it in for a Colts score. Matt Ryan, his 17th touchdown now on the season, and the Colts are able to cut into this lead. Matt Ryan now breaks the huddle. His guys will go for 2. They'll try and run it in with Henry. And he will not make it to the goal line. The defense holds him here. And this is still a 3-score game as the lead remains 18. Martin, the punter, now out to kick it away. This is fielded at the goal line. No, a nifty juke there.
Not much fun for a guy trying to tackle him.
And he'll get across the 20 before he's brought down at about the 23-yard line. And out now, here come the Bengals. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
They'll start out on the ground. It's Leonard Fournette. And a nice run past the 30-yard line there. A good run there on first down, and it'll leave them with a 2nd and 2.
Where Brandon Pace comes into play now because they've got the advantage. They've got the football, but they've got to be very careful about what speed they're going to play. You know, my music teacher back in New Paltz, Mrs. Bythema Bagley, used to say, don't go prestissimo when you really want to go largo. And what she meant by that is don't go too fast when you really want to go at a nice, slow, deliberate pace.
I am speechless. I am without speech. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
Now a play fake here on 1st down. And the catch made. It's Tyler Boyd. And he'll be brought down somewhat awkwardly here, and a late flag as well. I think this one's going to be a face mask. So the yellow flag came out, and that leads to a new set of downs for this offense. 1st and 10. After the penalty, it's Penny. And an alley to run. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. Another nice gain, 13 yards that time, and another 1st down.
Brandon, sometimes it just comes down to the power of suggestion, because I know exactly what they said all week long. We're coming off the open week. We'll have the fresher legs in the 4th quarter, and they will wilt when we get to that point. And right now, it appears that they're thinking that exact thing.
Yeah, offensively, they had the bye last week. Defensively, did not. Is that really a big factor? Is that more talk during the week?
I think the more that you talk about it, the more that you emphasize it, the more sometimes it comes true for your team.
And they'll go backwards here, losing yardage to the 14. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up 2nd down.
Well, that's the big drawback to this play. Even if somehow the quarterback pitches it, he's not immune to the big hit. In this case, he kept it and absorbed it anyway.
And it looks like this will be the last play before the 2-minute warning. On 2nd down, here's Fournette. And now running right through it. So he got 3 of 1 tackle, but couldn't do a whole lot else. Time for a break. We'll come back to wrap this one up after this. And the Bengals on 3rd down. 3 for 7 so far in this game. This is 3rd and 9. They'll run it again with Fournette. Oh, and now he bowls him over. So a decent gain, but all for naught on the penalty.
It's too bad, isn't it? They were feeling pretty good about it. The only people celebrating, the guys who just gave up that play.
So following the holding call, what can they do here on 3rd and long? After the penalty, it's Fournette. And he's brought down just outside of the 10 at the 11. 7 yards on the carry there, but now they're staring at 4th down.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
So it's 3 more points, and that widens this thing out even further here in the 4th.
And you know in this league, you can never have enough points, but this widens it out, as you said, and now it's all about ball control, isn't it?
The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Here comes the Colts offense now as they make their way onto the field. They've lost this one. Their offense has struggled. Do they try to put together something here at the end just to take into next week?
Yeah, sometimes teams want to do that and coaches want to. I remember one time I was on a team and we were losing late in the game like this, and you knew it was lost. It was over, right? And the coach called a running play.
And he'll be taken down by the Bengal pressure. Olivier Vernon in there to drop him for his 5th sack of the year. So that complicates things a bit here. 18 yards to go now on 2nd down. Here's Ryan. He's going to let it fly. And that is caught one-handed. Oh, my, he pulled it in. A big play there for Indy. 46 yards. They go play action here on 1st down. Now a desperation throw deep. And at the 7-yard line, the catch is made. He got 29 yards that time. Offense for them has been at a premium. You wonder where plays like that have been all game long.
They're thinking the exact same thing themselves, but they're also looking forward now because now these plays are really for next week, trying to get some momentum going.
They'll try and run for it with Henry. And they'll be driven back here, losing yardage to the 9. But, Charles, it's great to win at home in the NFL. When you win on the road, it's a little extra special, isn't it?
It is because, let's face it, in most cases, you're not expected to go on the road and win in the National Football League. It just doesn't usually compute. So to get out there, get that done, and then head back to your city with one in the victory column, oh, that's a fantastic feeling.
So for the Bengals, it's an important win for their postseason hopes as they at least get back to 4-5. And they'll return home next week to take on the New York Giants. Meanwhile, for the Colts, the loss will drop them to 6-3 now on the year. And they'll be at home next week for a date with the Houston Texans. So for our entire crew, alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gauton. Thanks for watching, everybody. We'll see you next time.